For years, I have been drowned in an ocean of fears. Fears of the rejection, fears of the worst outcome, fears of being left alone, fears of nothing, fears of anything. There was nothing but fears. Once in a while, I start to think that my life was worth for nothing. I was ever a happy young kid. I had a lot of friends. I talked a lot, and people seemed like they always fond of me. Well, it's true. If I were to be honest, I would love my past off too. However, the bright and cheerful in me had long gone since I hit my puberty. I don't grow up beautiful like the friends in the same age of me. I was unattractive, boring, and soon enough I tasted the feeling of being rejected by the society. My friends started to laugh at me if I did something wrong. They invalidate me if I start to feel angry. My families keep getting angry because I became someone that far out of their reach. Slowly, the old muse began to missing. Then finally, the feeling of being loved became something that very impossible for me. I was naive if I said that those times were not haunting me. In fact, I started to wonder if I truly was nothing but a burden, if I were nothing to continue this living. I was afraid. I became less and less talkative. I talked to few and fewer friends, but still, the fear of being rejected was very much terrifying. But I could not tell them, not my friends, not even my families. I could not just say that I was afraid of people and gave them worry that they should not be responsible. I kept my thoughts on my own. I kept my fears, my worries, my feelings hid deep down in my thoughts. Then start to grow my anxiety. When I was in high school, I started to live far away from my parents. I live in my sister's house and practically living with my own responsibility. I should taking care of myself and endure all the pain and the exhausting feeling alone. I faced difficulties, but I could not say. I had problems, but I could not tell them. Every here and there, everything I encountered turned into some thoughts that would wander inside my head. Thoughts, new thoughts, more thoughts, countless that I could not remember ever each of them. I could not remember since when did I have difficulties with my sleeping. Hours become I went to my dream became something very much devastating. I start to focus on happy memories to help me to think and help me to go to my sleep. But it was failed. Eventually, everything went uncontrolled. I could not even distinguish its thoughts in my head. What will happen tomorrow? Have I did my homework? What is the result of my exams? Did I fail? What if I fail? What if I had a bad mark? What if the teachers start to dislike me? What if I can't continue to my dream university? And more, and more, and more what ifs that I couldn't recall anymore. The endless thoughts filled inside my head, over and over. I was overwhelmed, that it seems like I could outburst at any time, but I couldn't. But my head was very dizzy that I feel like I'm going to throw up. The thoughts then turned into the pain, the endless pain. The same thing would happen if I met someone in my way back home. It would take me more than 3 minutes to feel panic and decide whether I should greet them or not. Did I need to say something? What should I say? Is it better to just look the other way? What if they don't feel like to meet me? What if they talk I'm arrogant? More questions creep out, and I feel like I could cry at any time, when actually I couldn't. So I just walked past them, head drowning in fears. Deep down inside of me, I knew that my worries aren't real. I knew that anything would happen, but I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop to think. I couldn't stop my thoughts. 10 years passed, and I stopped meeting with my friends. I seldom going out of my house. I hid beneath my bed sheets, the only place that I could feel safe. But when I entered college, I realized that I couldn't like this forever. I couldn't have these fears anymore. I should change into someone better. I couldn't stay like this anymore. But it was hard. I know it was hard. My mother kept telling me to go out and feel happy. But how could I feel happy if the only thing that I have was worry? I knew I was wrong. But the fear seems like it wouldn't stop to help me. So I took my first step, my tremble little step. I start to tell my friends how I really feel. I start to meet people and talk with them. Although the worries are still inside of me, it won't gone. But I know that my life will only change if only I want to. I know my fears would vanish only if I could fight back. So I prepare my armor and start to walk into the war. That was the long story of me, a long, heartful memories. I knew that I was not the one to feel this fear. A lot of you might experience the same thing. I couldn't say much, but I hope you always know that your life matters. Your life is precious. You are a strong person, and I believe that it's only you who could fight to yourself. Thank you very much.